Welcome back, Trinity people. We're getting you ready to meditate with us on Wednesday night. As you know, we do this every week and you can be a part of it. If you like this video, you subscribe to this channel, you can even go to our website, Adawehi.com, and sign up for our weekly heart quality reminder. Show up in your email, you'll know what to do, you just won't know exactly how it feels unless you tune in to these videos. That's what we're trying to do, is give you a sensation of the energy so that when you meditate, it's more than just a word and you're actually putting a feeling out into the consciousness to help raise the vibration of the planet. If you think this stuff's cool, you should be a part of it. Sign up. Tonight we're working with the energy of reverence. And when I was thinking about reverence, the first thing that came to me was my very first martial art. It was a Japanese style called Taido, and it was very, I guess acrobatic would be the word. They were about changing levels. You'd be down on the ground sweeping a leg, and then you'd jump up in the air, and then you'd do some stuff at mid-range, and they had these 3 different levels, and you had to constantly keep changing. As it turns out, I was not all that flexible, and it was a hard style for me to be starting out on. But the sensei, the teacher, was an amazing man, Mitsuchida, and he taught me many different things, and one of those was a piece of reverence. So in the beginning of each class, we would get down, and in Japanese style, you sit on your haunches like this with your heels under you, and you would always start with a little bow, and it would look something like this. Let me turn sideways so you can kind of see me do it. You would reach out and you would bow like that, and then you from there always go up to one knee and then up into a full fighting stance. So I was doing that a little bit today, and I realized I'm terrible at it anymore. It used to be no big deal for me to get down like this and sit on my haunches. Oh, it's terrible now. I've got bad knees, 57-year-old knees that just don't want to do this. And this control of bending over slowly and then coming up without holding on to anything, that's difficult. And then even this part where your knees fold out, that's difficult. So I wanted to talk to you about reverence in terms of your smaller gifts, because reverence is really just a piece of holding something in awe. You know, it's got covering in it, it's got appreciation. You're seeing this thing, this person, this situation as valuable and worthwhile and maybe even sacred. You're holding it in this bubble of light and appreciation. And to do that, you have to include the smaller gifts, the shortcomings, as we would say. What does this have to do with self-defense? Well, in self-defense, we tend to practice the things we're good at. Every morning, you know, in front of the mirror, I'm like, strike, block, kick. I love doing that stuff. I do it every morning to keep those neurons sharp in case there's an emergency. But there's plenty of things that have to do with self-defense that I do not practice because I'm not good at them. There's all kinds of awareness that you have to have in a self-defense situation. There's a certain level of humility that you need to have so that your ego doesn't get in the way and you're like, you know what, this is not worth fighting about. I'm taking off. All of those smaller gifts need to be practiced too. You need to put energy into your smaller gifts, or you cannot revere them as part of the package. So I plan for the next couple of weeks to spend a little time, at least once a week, instead of blocking and striking, I'm going to do this thing, which is hard and not fun. And I don't expect that I will get to this place of mastery with it again like I was when I was 15 years old. But I do expect that by putting energy into the places that I consider shortcomings, they will become small gifts. Not as big and polished as the things I'm good at, but certainly not a problem. Certainly not something that I would frown upon and want to leave out of the package. Because if you can't love the total package, you don't have reverence. Well, Russell, I don't think I can get down on my knees at all. Well, that's okay. I'm not asking you to do this specific thing. I'm asking you to do something that's hard for you. At least once a week, do something you don't consider yourself good at. Because if you don't put energy into your smaller gifts, you're going to be in trouble. That's what does you in a violent encounter. You may have lots of speed and lots of awareness, but if you don't have that humility to walk away, that's what's going to get you. You may have the humility, you may have the speed, but you're not so good at discerning when things are about to kick off. That's what's going to get you. Whatever is your smallest gift, that's going to be the thing that is your undoing in a violent encounter. So you have to take those small gifts and you need to put some energy into them every week so that they stop being problems and deficits and they start being one of my smaller gifts. Still a gift, still cool, still part of the package that I revere, but just one of the smaller ones. If you can move it from the category of problem to small gift, then you've brought some reverence to it. It can be something simple. You can take a chair and you can sit and go, you know, I used to be able to just spring up out of these things. Now I usually have to grab onto something or I have to lean forward and push on my knees to get up. Well, practice just for a minute or two, twice, 3 times a week. Practice. No hands, just getting up. If you can't do it, if you get halfway up and fall back down, tell yourself that's progress. I am really polishing that smaller piece of me. Stop seeing it as a problem and start seeing it as a small gift, a part of you that's wonderful and amazing and should be revered. And then you will start to feel how reverence weaves its way through your life. You'll have that sensation and you can bring it to our meditation tomorrow night. So once again, practice your smaller gifts. Put some energy into them and you will know what reverence feels like. If you think this stuff's cool, stay tuned for more Trinity.